Hey everybody, welcome back. We're going to be doing another training video today for a Cobra style short arm cast. It is called a Cobra style cast because when the cast is set, it's in this position, including the four fingers, leaving the thumb free, usually ordered by the provider when there are multiple phalange fractures or metacarpal type fractures as opposed to a radial gutter or an ulnar gutter cast. So it involves all four fingers. We'll go ahead and start that now. When starting the cast, the first thing you want to make sure you do before you do anything else is, I'm going to bring it right here in view. You want to make sure, like you would do, we would of course remove the ring, if that's okay. You want to do that? Yeah, sorry. She's like, no, don't take my ring off. Well, it's been on there a long time. Like you would do with a radial or ulnar gutter cast, you would put cotton in between the fingers. In this case, you're going to have to put cotton between all three spaces, and then you're going to secure it with a small strip of tape, both proximal and distal. And you would do this, of course, so they don't get that nasty toe jammy macerated skin in between. Take a strip of tape, wrap it around the base. Again, the tape never goes on too tight. It's just there mostly to secure the cotton so that if you're working with pediatrics, which you guys know that I do, they won't, hopefully this will deter them from removing the cotton too quickly. So I can do a little bit longer piece of tape there. And then you would proceed on, as you've seen in all the numerous videos before, you proceed on with the stockinette, a stockinette for the hand and the arm, and a stockinette for the thumb, which we're going to do now. And there you go, just like so. Of course, I'm in the habit of cutting extra so that I can always get rid of my excess. You cut a hole so that the thumb will stick out. In this case, I'm going past the tips of the fingers for this style cast. We'll go ahead and have the thumb out. I'll go ahead and cover the thumb for a few minutes, but when I'm done making the cast, I'll flip this over and you'll be able to see her thumb. So it'll be covered just for right now, just to protect her as we roll the fiberglass and all. Everything else you guys have seen numerous times in all these videos. We'll go ahead and just wrap the arm first so I can show you guys how much time we're going to spend on the hand. We'll get this out of the way first. Halfway overlap every turn. It doesn't have to be tight at all, ever. It just lays on flat, lays on comfortable. You take that extra strip, you create a bumper so that when you fold the stockinette over, they have a nice soft edge right there so it doesn't rub on them. Some people do this prior to putting the fiberglass. Some people lay one layer of fiberglass and then fold over and it acts like a lock so that people can't mess with the stockinette. Either way is acceptable. Now, before I start to roll the hand, remember how I did this position at the intro? So what we're going to do is we're going to ask the patient, as weird as it's going to sound, we're going to ask the patient to tilt their wrist back. And as soon as they tilt their wrist back, their fingers start wanting to curl. So we'll have them curl a little bit. Now, mind you, you're working with fractured fingers, fractured hands, so just what they can tolerate. The goal is for them to bend down as close to a right angle as possible without curling the fingers. So what you do is you just kind of assist them, do the whole big spoon, little spoon thing, and kind of assist them to where they can, to a point that they can tolerate. And then you start getting in that position. Let's see if we can turn this way so you can see. We start getting in that kind of quote unquote Cobra style position. So you have them bend the wrist back a little bit, fingers down as much as they can tolerate. You start in this position before you put the cotton. If you put the cotton first and then have them go in this position, the cotton gets all bunched up in that palmar crease, and then they end up coming back in a few days complaining that they're having some issues there. So you start with the fold before the cotton, and then as you've seen me do before in other videos, as you come through, you can either shear away the excess, or if you prefer, you can fold the excess into 3. And then of course your last option, you can cut the excess at the same angle as the thumb, and you can bring over the 2 flaps like so. All of these are acceptable, but in this case, unlike the short arm that would stop at the palmar crease, this one is going to go all the way up to the tips of the fingers. We'll stop right here. We'll take a little extra piece to put over the knuckles for extra padding. And then we'll roll the fingers. When you do the fingers, there's another trick I'm going to show you in just a sec. Roll the tips of the fingers, not only the cotton, but the fiberglass. When you're rolling the tips of the fingers, roll loosely, because you're going to go in there and you're going to use your 2 index fingers to spread it apart. At the flare here, you're going to want to give it a little flare so that, one, you can see all the tips of the fingers, and so that the fingers aren't crunched in like so. So I'm going to have her bring, actually, you know what? Stay right there. I'll bring the camera over here so you can see. So you want to have the fingers like so. I'll come around like this. You guys can see all the angles. Here's a good angle right here for you. There you go. All right, we'll put this back where it was so you guys can see what's happening. There you go. Awesome. Now we're going to start rolling the fiberglass. I'm going to go ahead and put the little bumpers around the thumb, because the thumb still will be mobile. So that way, as the patient is moving the thumb around, it won't rub on the cast. So here is your stockinette, here's your cotton padding, and here's your bend. And then we'll go ahead and lay the cast on. Stay right there for a sec. I'm going to pause this while I get all prepped. Okay guys, so we got the blue here, the blue fiberglass. So nursing 101 stuff, okay? This is like basic stuff. Always go distal to proximal, right? Distal to proximal. You saw me roll the cotton. I took care of the arm first just because it was super fast and easy to do, and I wanted to spend more time on the hand, so you guys got that. So I'm going to go ahead and start like the way we're supposed to start. We're going to start at the fingers. You're going to see me roll, and then when I'm all done, I'll do the same thing. I'll pick up the camera again, and I'll bring it around all the different angles for you, so you can see. And as you start making your way close to the thumb, like we did before with the cotton, you can either fold the fiberglass or you can cut the fiberglass so that it goes around the thumb and it gives it that nice smooth appearance, just like that. And we still have plenty of time to do molding and shaping, as we have a good 3 to 5 minutes working time. I used tepid tap water. I didn't use any hot water, so we'll have plenty of time to mold with this. And again, you lay it on halfway every time. No need to pull or torque on it. You just lay it on there. You can see for yourselves, I just let it do its thing. I don't pull on it ever. That's kind of an outdated concept. There's really no reason to make a cast tight these days, like at all. You want to have patient comfort. I mean, when we're done, we're going to massage it, and we're going to have a nice flat appearance, to coincide with the 2 long bones that are there. But other than that, there's no reason to really pull tension on the fiberglass at all. And again, what I'm going to do, just so you can get a better view, I'm going to bring this in real close right here, and I'm going to do the same exact thing. I'm going to do 2 layers just so it'll hold the mold. So you'll see me, I'll lay it right across the fingers. And then as I get to the thumb, I'll flare this guy out and use him as an anchor in just a second. So that little piece right there, I'll come around, I'll use him as my anchor to hold that down, and then we can work our way down the arm. With 2 rolls of fiberglass on there, you'll have plenty of turns on there to hold any mold that you or the provider is going to do. Shaping the hand in that Cobra style position will be totally easy to do. The edges will always be soft. All the edges will be soft like a cushion. cast, of course, will be hard. I'll stop right here and I'll laminate my hands a little bit. Then start massaging that end piece so that it sticks. As I'm massaging the cast, I'll start giving it its shape. I'll come over here to the hand like we talked about, and I'll do that whole positioning thing as much as they can tolerate, because again, you're working with, you know, a broken hand. Press back a little bit. There you go. There are some providers that'll call this a mitten cast. I've had one provider call it an outrigger style cast, because, you know, like an outrigger, like an oar. And of course, the most common nickname for this cast is a Cobra cast because of the shape. So while that's starting to set up a little bit, I'll go ahead and take this glove off, and I'll bring this around so you can see all the different angles. You just hold it out like this for me. There you go. And here we go. Cobra cast, just like that. And again, it's about the length of the arm. There we go. All right, you guys, thanks a lot for watching, and we'll see you at the next video.